Hey, I am Coach Lele. Welcome to the Pink Couch. Tonight's episode, Unresolved Conflict. So, guess what? Do y'all remember if you follow me on social media on October the 2nd, I posted that I was going to draw prizes for my new subscribers. So, guess what? I'm going to announce them at the end of the show. So, make sure you stay tuned to see if you won or not. All right? So, tonight's episode is Unresolved Conflict. This is something that we don't talk about a lot. A lot of times we sweep it under the rug. A lot of times we find memes on social media to reflect how we feel because we don't want to have the conversation. Well, tonight we are going to have the conversation. So let's look up what conflict means first. All right. So, according to the dictionary, conflict means fight, battle, war, a competitive or opposing action of incompatibles, an antagonistic state or action, mental struggle resulting from incompatible or opposing needs, drives, wishes, or eternal or external demands. The opposition of persons or forces that gives rise to dramatic action in a drama or a fiction. All right. It's also defined as to be different, opposed, or contradictory, to fail to be an agreement or accord, to contend in warfare. This is conflict. So, what does it mean for something to be unresolved? We got to break it all the way down because sometimes we use words, don't even know what they mean. And that's why I can thank God for my dad who made me go through 500 words in per box and vocabulary words to figure out how to use them in a sentence and how to spell them and how to enunciate them. Unresolved is not settled, not solved, or brought to resolution. It means not resolved. All right. So when you look up resolved, that word is defined as to deal with successfully, to clear up. That's what resolve means. All right, so now we're talking about unresolved conflict. So I'm going to talk about 5 different ways to help you handle that. But when you think about unresolved conflict, one of the things that people say is that I don't have any closure. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I need closure. What happens if you don't get closure? Because the Bible says every man is a liar. All right? Every person is a liar. You get in a situation sticky enough, you gonna lie. Somebody get a gun to your head. You love me? Yeah. You know you don't, but you gonna say it because you don't want to die. So at some point, we're gonna say something that's untrue in some part of our life. So because of that, there's some things you're not gonna get a resolve about because people are not willing to be honest. They would rather be treacherous and perfidious than honest. So they would rather make you like the bad guy. They would rather not tell the truth. They would rather spin a narrative than to really get down with the get down. So number one is you have to accept that closure doesn't always come from other people. Doesn't. Waiting for someone else to give you closure keeps you emotionally tethered to them. The truth is, closure is an inside job. Ooh, what you say, coach? Closure is an inside job. You have to acknowledge what happened. Let's start right there. Because a lot of times we don't. We do not acknowledge what happened because we have in our mind of our perception of this person Oh, this is the love of my life, or this is my best friend, or this is my brand. This is a great company. This is a great restaurant. We have that in our forefront of our minds. And because we have that concept, we don't see anything different. We don't. And so you have to acknowledge what happened. What happened? They lied to me. They cheated on me. They stole from me. They weren't honest with me. They hid something from me. You got to acknowledge what actually happened. Then you got to figure out, how did it make you feel? How did you feel when you found out they lied to you? How did you feel when you found out they were infidelities? How did you feel when you found out that who you were loyal to was disloyal to you? How did you feel? And we never ask that question. We instead of us asking ourselves how we feel about it and deal with it, we just complain about it. We go off. We're in tangents. We're in tantrums. But how did it really make you feel? Then it's like, then you got to ask yourself, what did you wish that would have happened different? Like, what's your wish? Because sometimes we don't want to deal with that. We want to talk about the situation. We talk about, it made me mad, blah, blah, blah. But how, after you figure out how to make you feel, now what do you wish would have been happened differently? And then you need to write this down and say it out loud and process it. Okay. The situation is they are not loyal to me. All right. So I acknowledge they wasn't loyal. How did it make me feel? Betrayed. What do I wish you happened differently? That they would have just left me alone. Not even say hello to me. Because I don't know about you. There's some people I wish I'd have never met. I'm just gonna keep it a buck tonight. Y'all know me. I just, some people I wish I had never said hello. I wish I had never responded to the inbox on social media. I should have never befriended them after a church event. Some people I wish I had never met. Because had I not done it, I wouldn't be in this particular mindset. I wouldn't have been wounded, wouldn't have been hurt. And some things are inevitable, but some things are avoidable. Write that down. Some things are inevitable, but there are other things that are avoidable. And a lot of times we don't do that. One of the things I had to learn from me is when I do a class, when class is over, class is over. You don't see teachers taking their students home with them. You don't see that. Once they give the information and they do what they're supposed to, they go home. And a lot of times we don't know how to set boundaries. We're going to get into that in a minute. It's leading to my next point. Set boundaries that protect your peace. Now, I know folks like to use the word energy, and that's fine, but for me, it's peace, okay? You need to set boundaries that protect your peace. Let me tell you something. Well, first of all, let me finish my other statement. See, y'all pulling on me. I feel y'all. Okay, so after you write it out, say it out and process it with a trusted person. Because you got to find somebody you can trust, you can talk to. Because first of all, if you don't rehearse it, open your mouth and talk about it, you don't set yourself free. You really don't. As long as it's in your mind, it's going to stay in your heart. It's going to stay in your emotions. But once you start writing stuff down and then you say it out loud and you process it with somebody that you trust, guess what? It's going to help you. That's where people come in with therapists, all right? You may have to go to therapy sometimes. You might have to. But if you don't want to have a therapist, you should have a trusted friend or a person that's a vault and not a vent. We talked about that last week, the difference between a vault and a vent, and process it with somebody that you trust. And then guess what? You don't need their permission to move on. You don't need it. You take it. Because at the end of the day, this is how you closure is an inside job. And once you do that, now let's set our boundaries. All right. Set boundaries to protect your peace. Unresolved conflict often lingers because there's still some contact, direct or indirect. Yep. Yes, it is. Listen, people say stuff like that. Girl, I wouldn't block them. Let them see you prosper. No, some folks you need to block. Can I talk about me for just 2 seconds? You know what I love about Facebook? The snooze button. Yes, I do. I love it because I can snooze you for 30 days. I'll just see your shade, your subliminals, your memes for 30 whole days. You're not even in my news feed. Try it. Let me tell you something. If you don't want to delete them, you don't want to block them, you hit the snooze button. It does not have to come into your news feed because some stuff that you're seeing, you're not looking for it. I'm not going to nobody's page I know don't like me. I'm not going to their page to see what they talking about me. No, I'm not doing that. But if it's in my news feed, guess what? That means, you know what? Okay, here we go. You want to know why it's in your news feed? Because somebody connected to you is still entertaining that. That's what's in your news feed. Because what you got to understand, the way social media works is who you're connected to. If somebody that's you're connected, you interact with on a regular basis, whatever they interact is going to come show up in your news feed because you're connected to them. That's why you have to set boundaries, because it lingers, because there's still some contact, direct or indirect. All right. So if the other person is still in your workplace, your family, your social circle, boundaries are essential. I'm going to say it again. If the other person is still in your workplace, your family, your social circle, or anything connected to you, boundaries are essential. That looks like limiting your interactions with people, situations, changing how you engage, deciding not to discuss certain topics. Boundaries aren't punishment, they're protection. See, the only people that got an issue with your boundaries are the ones who don't respect them. I'm going to say that again. When you set boundaries, the only people that have an issue with you setting those boundaries are those who want the access. You listen, if I've already allowed you to stab me, why am I going to let you keep being around me? No. Because when you're harassed or when you have somebody stalking you, you get a 50B. You go downtown, this person's stalking me, you file the paperwork. So they come anywhere they're going to jail. Okay, so the way we do that with ourselves is setting boundaries. It's just that simple. They are not punishment, they are protection. Why would I continue to allow myself to be accessible to something that's damaging to me? Whether it's my mental, my physical, or my social. No, we're not doing it. No. All right. So boundaries are protection. So now that you have processed what happened, how it made you feel, and then you decided that okay, this is the truth. This is my truth. I'm moving on because I want to. Now I'm gonna set these boundaries, and my boundaries are gonna be set to protect me. And what is wrong with you protecting you? Isn't it crazy that you have spent your entire life protecting people that left you wide open, left you uncovered, betrayed your confidence, but yet you're still making yourself a martyr? You don't have to be. You were not designed to be a martyr in friendship, relationship, church, work, business. That's not what you're here for. We already have a martyr. His name is Jesus, okay? He's already did all the dying that need to be done. It's time for you to live. But you have to set some boundaries. And we're back. So we've talked about setting boundaries. Remember, boundaries are not punishment. They are protection. So the next thing you got to do is choose meaning over bitterness. Woo. Choose meaning over bitterness. Ask yourself the hard questions. What did I learn about myself through this? We never ask ourselves that question. We're so busy focused on the offense, we don't learn the lesson. And that's why it keeps happening to us over and over and over again, because we don't learn the lesson. So what did I learn about myself through this? What do I want to do differently the next time? Listen, I asked myself, I wrote a short story on social media years ago called I Thought It Was God. And I penned it right after a breakup. And one of the things I had to ask myself was like, how did you get deceived in the first place? Like, I would say hindsight is 20/20. But when people hide behind your passion to lure you, it can poison you. I'm going to say that again. When people hide behind your passion to lure you, it can poison you. The reason why I said I thought it was God, and this person hid behind God. This person said they was a man of God, that they was this, that, and the third. That they wanted to be married, they wanted to do ministry together. That my passion was ministry, and they hid behind that, and that's how I got poisoned. And so I had to ask myself, what did I learn about myself? My discernment was off. I didn't discern that person every day. I let them win my trust and gave them a lifetime benefit to it. That's one of the biggest mistakes we make in life, is when people initially earn our trust, we give them a lifetime benefit. No, sir. You're not a gold chain. You're not a silver bracelet. We have a lifetime warranty. No. Trust has to be constantly earned. We have to constantly vet people, because the person that was your friend October the 1st could hate you today, October the 17th. Did you hear what I said? You would be amazed at the people who was cool with you 17 days ago can't stand you now, because people are fickle. So when you ask yourself the question, what did I learn through this? What did I do differently? Then you got to ask yourself, what had went wrong in the relationship? For what went wrong? Where did things go wrong? And if you sit back and think about it, you'll notice a pattern changes, behavioral changes. You'll notice that they were not as supportive. Some people are, let me help y'all. Some people are supportive when you ain't doing nothing. They will pump you up. Oh, you can do it, until you do it. Did you hear what I said? I mean, people, as long as it's just an idea and lip service, they will promote it and they will encourage it. But when it becomes a reality, it's crickets. It's distancing themselves. And so, you have to understand that, choose meaning over bitterness. Don't be bitter about it. Figure out the meaning, because it's easy to be bitter, because bitter comes from unresolved issues. You're bitter because you don't have no closure. You haven't resolved it within yourself. We start asking yourself the hard questions, it brings a different type of result. Grief is what we consider sacred, some people. So it's like, are you grieving the loss of the individual? Are you grieving the betrayal? What part of that? Because grief is a sacred thing. You know what I'm saying? So why are we using something sacred on somebody who wasn't loyal, who wasn't true, who wasn't who they said they were? And so it's important to communicate your values, your needs, and your boundaries in every relationship. This is a rule that I personally live by right now. Listen, I'm in a place in my life right now where if you don't choose me, you lose me. I'm no longer volunteering myself to people, whether it's friendship, whether it's ministry, mentorship, things of that nature. People say, "Oh, she charged for everything now." Yeah, I do, because my time is valuable. I've done 26 years of free ministry. Free, whatever. I've done it. But what I learned was people value what they invest in. So instead of me being bitter, you don't come to class, I'm not bitter no more, because I already got paid for the class. You see what I'm saying? But when you're doing stuff for free and you're doing your time, your expertise, and you're planning and you're making all these sacrifices, and people don't show up, it makes you bitter. You don't think I'm lying? Go to the Bible. What happened? He made this great big supper, right? He sent out 2 invitations. One was to save the date. Next one, it's ready. Everybody he prepared for had an excuse. And he got mad. And so I tell you what, go find anybody you can and bring them in here. So I have not wasted what I prepared. And that's what we do in relationships. When we get messed over like that, and we prepare and we give, and we don't have no boundaries, and we don't have no parameters set in place, we just let anybody come and take what we have. Anybody. That's what we do. We just let anybody come and take. And so now we rather have the space occupied as opposed to being sanctified. What you mean, coach? What I mean is I'd rather have somebody in the seat than somebody who deserves the seat. And so we just have to, we got to choose meaning over bitterness. So instead of me being bitter, if it doesn't mean anything to me, I don't mean anything to you, then I have to disconnect myself. And I make no apologies for that, because it's not healthy for me to hold on to something that ain't there. It's not healthy for me to continue to look at you through the lens of love and loyalty when all you gave me was deception and disloyalty. No, we gotta learn how to be honest and set and choose meaning over bitterness. I'm not gonna be bitter, but because loyalty means something to me, because love means something to me, because friendship means something to me, I'm gonna set a parameter and understand that if people don't understand my meaning, I refuse to let them make me bitter. All right, number 4, redirect your focus to what you can control. Baby, hear me when I say you cannot control people. You cannot control their actions, their responses, none of that. People are exactly who they are. Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. But we don't, because we rather believe a lie than believe the truth. We rather believe a lie. We rather believe they love us, they like us, they for us. Then the truth is they can't stand you. They're tearing your name down. They're trying to mess up your integrity. They're trying to kill your influence. The people don't like you. Let me talk about me. I used to run up and down the road. I mean, travel here and yonder 2 hours one way to support people that hated my guts. I was driving, I was showing up, I was sewing, and they couldn't stand me. And I didn't want to believe the truth. But they would smile and say, God bless you, and take my money and use my gift and take whatever, but they could not stand me. And so I would get so upset once the light came on. Okay? Because when the light comes on, it's when you get mad. When the light comes on, it's like first thing in the morning. Somebody turn the light on when you sleep. That type of mad. Like when the light comes on, you get mad. But I had to redirect my focus. I can't control that. But I can't control how much I get in that car running down this road. I can't control how much money I give. I can't control how much access I give to people and what I lend and what I borrow. I can control all of that. I can control what I do. And people who are users and abusers and manipulators do not like you taking control back. Did you hear what I said? Because those types of people are controlling you, your emotions, what you do, how you flow. They know you love. They know you like to be friends. They know you loyal. You like to help out. So they'll use all of that against you for their benefit. So you can't change how someone else responded or didn't, but you can decide what kind of communicator, colleague, or friend you want to be instead. You can use the conflict as fuel for becoming more clear, compassionate, and assertive. Because a lot of us are not assertive as we need to be. We're just not. These skills can help you exercise to have more control over your actions. I learned that I was a friend to people that weren't friends to me. I learned that I was loving people that hated me. I learned that I was forcing myself on people who did not want what I had to offer. So once I came to that conclusion, I said, you know what? I can control what I release. I can control what I share. I can control what I entertain. I can control what I support. I can control where I go. You can do that. So redirect your focus. My final point. Let go of the justice fantasy. This is a hard one because it's human to want people to realize they was wrong. Want you to apologize. We want you to change. But baby, clinging to that fantasy keeps you stuck in the loop of resentment. That's why I teach at my local church, forgive without the apology. I love God so much, and I'm trying to keep this church, but I'm a disciple. I can't help it. It's going to ooze out of me at some point. I love God so much because a lot of things in the Bible have stipulations. But this one thing does not, and that is forgiveness. He didn't say if they apologize, forgive them. If they admit to you that they're wrong, forgive them. If they are sorry, he said forgive them, period. He said, how many times, Lord? 70 times 7 in one day. 490 times you got to forgive one person. That ain't for everybody in your life. That's 490 times per person. Let me help you. Don't go find 490 people and say, oh, now I'm going to spaz out. No, that's 490 times per person, per day, per week, per month, per year, per life. Yes. Let go of justice fantasy. Closure and moving on isn't about excusing harm. It means making peace with what happened. We don't excuse their behavior. They treacherous, they messy, they trifling, they foolish, yes. But guess what? You got to make peace with it. It is what it is. As a matter of fact, as a new saying I heard, and I've adopted it, it is what it is until it ain't. Okay? So forgiveness means saying, I choose to move on from the emotional impact of this conflict and wish the other person no harm. Because remember, you was a friend. Friend loves at all times. You love them. Love is unconditional. You were supportive of them. You was loyal because that's who you are. So you cannot become the thing you hate trying to find justice. Guess what happens? Because you start being disloyal to yourself. We talked about last week about the ultimate betrayal is not being true to yourself. So you run the risk of not being loyal to who you truly are, looking for justice. Don't even do that. Don't even do that to yourself. So let go of the justice fantasy. At the end of the day, it happened. You can't change it, but you learn from it. You gain wisdom and you make better decisions and choices the next time. At the end of the day, you're still here. It could have killed you. It could have destroyed you, but it hasn't. Look how far you've come since the last situation. But are you stuck looking for justice looking for fantasy justice? Are you stuck because you're not asking yourself the right question and you're not willing to process it? You're not willing to set the boundaries. You're not willing to give yourself permission to move on. You can ask those hard questions. So once again, I know I laid a lot in your lap tonight, but we talk about the hard conversations because conversation kills confusion. And if you want clarity, you got to have a conversation. And sometimes it's with yourself. All right? So make sure that you deal with that unresolved conflicts. You have the best possible year of your life. I want you to do your best, live your best, and be at peace. So now we are down to our 4 winners of my subscriber challenge. I thank you. We're at 153 subscribers. Now, some people did not make their subscription public, so I could not enter everybody in the drawing. So those that made it public, I was able to choose 2 men and 2 women. All right. So the winner for the free gas card, which is a $50 gas card, is the Parent Cater. I don't know your name, but that was your YouTube channel name. So the Parent Cater, please send me an email to yourcoach@yalad.org so I can get that gas card to you. All right. Then the winner for the restaurant gift card is Crystal Dillard. Congratulations. You have won a $100 gift card to Ruth Chris House. All right. Congratulations. All right. So the winner of the designer purse was Tamara Taylor. So please send your address to yourcoach@yalad.org. All of you, contact me at yourcoach@yalad.org so that I can give you your gift. So congratulations, Tamara Taylor. And then the cash prize. I was looking for a man to give this prize to, and it happens to be my nephew, Jaden Faust. Congratulations. You won a cash prize of $50. So listen, I'm going to be doing this throughout the year. So listen, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that notification button. My name is Coach Lele. You listen to the Pink Couch. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week.